Hi everyone, it's Philip from VFW1402, and we're going to talk about our week 1 project. As we talked about in class, we're going to talk about objects today. But let me first start off by showing you the progress that I've made on my application. As you can see, I've got an Android application and an iOS application here. Obviously, the difference between the two is the shape. And because image view animations do not work very well on Android, you'll see that it's a static image on Android, whereas it is a looping animation on iPhone. The events that fire for the next, back, and 4C buttons still work without any issue. And I can click on 4C here and we'll see that the animation takes place, and then I can click 4C on the Android app and we'll see that the blinking animation takes place, but the images in themselves never change. So that's the application in a nutshell. What did we actually talk about in class? So we talked about objects and how we can use objects. So this is just a basic object usage here. We can see TI and platform. We're going to work with that object and we're going to do something. So we're going to get the OS name. In this case, I'm going to check the OS name and I'm going to see if it has Droid in the name. And if it does, I'm going to set Android to true. With the emulator as well, and on Android devices, you have to add your elements to the Android platform one at a time instead of doing them all at once. But something more specific that I wanted to show you about functions was something that took me a little bit of time to work out. One of the things about event listeners is they'll take a type and then they'll take a function. It's a requirement. They have to have a type and then a function in order to execute. But believe it or not, you can specify your own function over here to pass a variable or to pass a data value to the function that you're going to call. So I want to, every time I click on previous, random, or next buttons, to have them light up so that the user gets a little bit of feedback when they touch them. So in order to do that, I could create a start opacity and end opacity function for each one of those, or I can go the route that I just took, and using the function object here, I can create a function. I can say, hey, I want to call this function set start opacity, which is up here, with the actual control I'm interested in. So I'm able to pass that over. And inside of the parent function set opacity control, you notice I have no reference to previous, rand, view, or next view buttons. It's only the actual control that I sent to it. And the control is checking to see if it's null, it's checking to see if the value that I'm trying to change is null, and then if it's not, it's setting it to the way that I want. And this allows me to control not only how to send objects to an event listener, but receive objects from. So that is what I wanted to show you about objects today. I'll leave you with a quick look at my application again, and we'll just ask a question. Hopefully everybody's having a great time with VFW 1402. Is that correct? How about we go most likely? That works for me. All right, guys, you have a great time this month, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.